the two greatest priorities of menopausal and postmenopausal women are one, heart health, and two, bone health. So we've talked about different diets, but which one is the best for menopause? What are the nutritional factors that improve one's ability to improve their heart health as well as their bone health? I'm going to publish a book strictly about menopause and talk about the perfect diet, but you're going to get a sneak peek of that in this video. What is the best diet for menopause? Is it the keto diet, intermittent fasting, paleo, or something else? That's exactly what we're going to cover in this video. But before we do, who am I to even talk about this? My name is Igor, and I've been a personal trainer since 2006, and I run an online personal training company that specializes in helping menopausal women lose weight and improve their strength post-menopause. So first, let's talk about the different diets that exist and how they apply to menopause. Let's start with a Mediterranean diet. The hallmarks of the Mediterranean diet is that it's high in fatty fish. And typically on the Mediterranean diet, the fatty fish are consumed about once a day. Another hallmark is poultry. So ducks, chicken, turkey, etc. They're also consumed approximately once a day or as little as 3 times per week. Wine is typically consumed with meals. It's rich in extra virgin olive oil. It's also rich in whole grains, whole wheat, fruits, vegetables, beans, and lentils, and it has minimal to no red meat. Those are the hallmarks of the Mediterranean diet. It is the best studied diet in the world. It's not the best diet in the world, it's the best studied diet in the world. The hallmark of the Mediterranean diet is heart health. It's not necessarily intended for menopause, but it is supposed to be good for the heart. And there are times to use it and times to not use it. At the end, I'll give you my opinion on what is the ultimate diet for menopause. So keep watching until later on in this video. Another diet we'll discuss is the Paleo Diet. The Paleo Diet has really gained favor in recent years. And one hallmark of the Paleo Diet is that it's very, very high in protein. Everything is fair game, whether it's game meats, whether it's poultry, whether it's red meat, everything is fair game. What it removes is especially grains and legumes like beans, lentils, stuff like that. Also, most versions of the Paleo Diet avoid dairy. There is one version of the Paleo Diet that includes dairy, and that's what they call the Swiss Paleo Diet. Also, it minimizes starches except for things like sweet potatoes, but regular white potatoes it avoids. Again, every diet has its benefits and drawbacks, and the benefits of the Paleo Diet is that it's very, very high in protein, which is great for menopausal women, especially for muscle strength and bone strength. But it does remove a lot of food groups. So for example, grains and legumes are very rich in the B vitamins as well as vitamin E, and it avoids those. Now there are other things that are high in fiber, high in vitamin E, etc. That aren't those things. So it's not exclusive, it's just harder to get without grains and legumes. Another diet, which I've filmed extensively about, is the Keto Diet. The Keto Diet is different than the Paleo Diet in the sense that it is a very low carbohydrate diet. Most low carbohydrate diets, like the Paleo Diet, use between 50 and 150 grams of carbohydrates per day. The hallmark of the Keto Diet is that it's low carb, moderate protein, as opposed to low carb, high protein. How low is low? Well, under 50 grams of carbohydrates per day, so it's very, very low. Hallmarks of the Keto Diet are foods like extra virgin olive oil, eggs, bacon, avocados, coconut oil, etc. And again, there's pros and cons. I talk about this extensively in my other videos about the Keto Diet, so feel free to check those out in the description below. Another diet that I want to discuss, and the reason, possibly the reason that brings the greatest benefits to menopause, is a very unconventional diet called the Twinkie diet. What is the Twinkie diet? Well, if you're outside of North America, a Twinkie is purely a snack food. It is, well, basically wheat, bread, etc., made of chocolate as well as sugary vanilla coating on the inside. What is this diet? Who came up with it? Well, there was a nutrition professor in 2010, and his claim was that the only thing that matters for weight loss is calories, and that's it. The quality of those calories doesn't matter, whether you're eating X number of calories of lettuce or X number of calories of Twinkies. It doesn't matter. Calories are the only thing that matters, and he proved that correct. So here's the experiment that was run. Over a 10-week period, this nutrition professor ate nothing but Twinkies, but he limited it to only 1,800 calories per day. Now, so that he doesn't develop some kind of overt disease, in addition to the Twinkies, he would have 1 protein shake per day and a can of some kind of vegetables like green beans or something else, and a multivitamin. And that's it. But between 1,200 and 1,500 calories out of the 1,800 came for Twinkies and nothing else. So what happened at the end of the 10 weeks? He lost 27 pounds. Now, he wasn't exactly 400 pounds and he dropped to 363. He was slightly overweight, not obese. And he dropped a significant amount of weight. So his students said, okay, point taken. Maybe you're lighter, but you're probably rotting on the inside. Probably your cholesterol is bad, your blood sugar is bad, etc. Fortunately, he did take measurements before the diet of cholesterol, blood sugar, and a bunch of other things, and everything improved. On the Twinkie diet, his bad cholesterol, his LDL cholesterol, decreased by 20%. His good cholesterol, his HDL cholesterol, increased by 20%. His triglycerides decreased. Everything improved on the Twinkie diet, which sheds light why these different diets, whether it's this keto, paleo, intermittent fasting, Mediterranean, why they're all so beneficial. And it's way simpler than we think. It's simply calories. I would say, in my own experience, that between 80 to 95% of the benefits of any diet is caloric normalization. Not caloric restriction, caloric normalization. That is eating the number of calories that you're supposed to be eating in the first place. So that's my opinion on why so many diets benefit. Regardless of their differences, there are way more similarities. The similarities of every diet are this: reduce calories. Every diet says that. The way they choose to reduce the calories are different. Keto and paleo choose to reduce the calories by reducing carbohydrates. Mediterranean diet chooses to reduce calories by eliminating certain food groups, especially red meat, stuff like that. Intermittent fasting chooses to reduce calories by limiting the time that you have to eat. But the end goal, the commonality is the same. Eat less calories and eat less processed foods. Although processed foods matter a whole lot less than we think, because as the Twinkie diet points out, you can still have good health on a processed food diet. Granted, this was only done for 10 weeks, and you're probably better off eating whole foods, but caloric normalization is the key. So we've talked about different diets, but which one is the best for menopause? Well, we have to consider, what are the goals of menopause? Probably the 2 greatest priorities of menopausal and postmenopausal women are 1, heart health, and 2, bone health. These are 2 of the greatest concerns of women after menopause, because osteoporosis is a huge issue with them. And I've recorded many videos about osteoporosis, which are also linked in the description below, so check those out. And heart health, pre-menopause, the risk of dying from heart disease is very low for women, under the age of menopause. After menopause, their risk rises greater than men's. So these are the top 2 priorities. So what are the nutritional factors that improve one's ability to improve their heart health as well as their bone health? Well, the Mediterranean diet is said to be heart healthy. The Paleo diet is pretty high in protein, so that's bone healthy. How do we combine the 2, and how do we actually improve heart health, improve bone health, but also use nutrition to manage menopausal symptoms? These are our criteria. And by those criteria, none of the diets I listed, not Mediterranean, not Paleo, not Keto, not intermittent fasting, none of them meet all the criteria. The Mediterranean diet is pretty good when it comes to heart health, but doesn't do necessarily much for bone health, and doesn't do very much for menopausal symptoms. The Paleo diet, great for bone health, questionable for heart health, and again, not really sure what it does for menopausal symptoms. As for the Keto diet, probably not great for bone health because it's moderate in protein, it's not high in protein. Heart health, questionable. Some people have great effects on heart health, some people have deleterious effects. None of them accomplish all the goals of what I call the menopause diet. In the future, I'm going to publish a book strictly about menopause and talk about the perfect diet, but you're going to get a sneak peek of that in this video. So what, in my opinion, is the perfect diet for menopause? It's something that emphasizes foods that are heart healthy. What are some examples of that? Well, pretty much all vegetables, with emphasis on garlic, onions, mushrooms, etc. Also the green family of vegetables, so your bok choy, your spinach, your celery, your lettuce, your broccoli, etc. Those are really good for the heart. Now, what about things for bone health? For bone health, the single most important nutrient is not calcium, it's not vitamin D, it's protein. And what are the best sources of protein? By and large, they are meat, fish, and seafood. Now, a lot of vegans will claim, falsely by the way, that things like beans are rich in protein. Well, it depends what you compare them to. They're rich in protein compared to like broccoli. They're not rich in protein compared to chicken. Meat, fish, and seafood are the best sources of protein, and what makes them the best sources? All of them contain more than 30 grams of protein per serving. That's what I call grade A protein. Then there's what I call grade B protein, which is between 10 and 30 grams of protein per serving. So there, things like beans, they fit the bill. Things like lentils, they fit the bill. They have between 12 and 14 grams per serving. Greek yogurt fits the bill. It has between 12 and 18 grams per serving. Whereas grade C protein is other things that people typically say are high protein, but really aren't. Eggs. Eggs are not a great protein source because one egg contains only 6 grams of protein. But combine 2 eggs and you have more protein. Dairy is not a great protein source because 1 cup of milk is about 9 grams of protein. 1 slice of cheese is about 5 grams of protein. So you need 2 cups of milk or 2 slices or 3 slices of cheese to have adequate protein. So again, we have one criterion, which is heart health. Second criterion, which is bone health. And a third criterion, which is managing menopausal symptoms. How do you manage menopausal symptoms? By eating foods that are rich in what's called phytoestrogens. What are phytoestrogens? Well, as the name implies, phyto means plant, and estrogens, well, that's the female hormone of estrogen. And so, which foods are high in phytoestrogens? The single greatest source is actually beer. So if you want an excuse to drink beer, this is a pretty good one. Beer contains a special compound called isoxanthohumol, and that's one word. And if you can use that in Scrabble, you win. So it contains that, and it helps reduce menopausal symptoms quite significantly, both the genitourinary symptoms as well as psychological symptoms and somatic symptoms. So beer seems to be good all around. There are other foods that are rich in phytonutrients or phytoestrogens, things like soy and soy-based products like tofu, tempeh, miso, things like that. So those are the things that help regulate estrogen. Why does that help? Well, because before menopause, the ovaries make estrogen. After menopause, the ovaries don't make estrogen anymore, at least way less estrogen than before. Phytoestrogens are like a weak source of estrogen, but they're better than no estrogen. So that's why they help reduce menopausal symptoms. I hope you found this video beneficial. If you did, please click like and subscribe so that you can help this video reach more people and you can get notified when I publish more videos about things like this topic, like menopause, exercise, nutrition, supplementation for women over 50. Thank you and goodbye.